This is it, guys. This is how we win against the mainstream media narrative, by flooding the internet with people's real, authentic stories about President Trump. Starting with this one from Pawn Stars personality Rick Harrison. So he shared that he once received an apology from President Trump after a backstage mishap with the Secret Service. He talked about how embarrassed he was and that he disappointed his son, who was excited to tell his friends that he was meeting the president. But you know what? The president called him. He said he was really sorry and took the blame for his White House staff. Now, seriously, guys, for a president to be that humble, how can anybody hate this man, right? This is beyond my comprehension. And the thing about President Trump is you never hear about these stories about him from mainstream media. And honestly, guys, I've heard so many stories from regular people relating unbelievable things that he's done for them. Truly a man for the ages and our greatest president. And so this is why we got to make this one go viral, guys. That's how we fight back against the anti-Trump propaganda mainstream media is just so fond of. You know what I mean? Now, speaking of viral stories, have you guys seen the one where Congressman Tim Burchett, who shut down a longtime Democrat agitator that approached him on Capitol Hill? Yeah, so the annoying guy asked, "Do you trust Trump's national security team to keep our war plans top secret?" You know, what a troll, right? Instead of ignoring the guy, Burchett actually fired back. "Do you trust your mother every night to fix your hot pockets and make sure that your Game Boy's turned on?" I mean, what a burn, right? Well deserved too, as Burchett told the media that the young man has been basically tracking him for about a year and believes that he's been paid by the left. It wasn't even the first time that week Burchett and the troll met. He had a sick burn for him then too, but that one I'll save for later. We've also got the video, so make sure you stick around, guys. Really, it is just so satisfying to see people standing up for Trump and our official fighting for us. I mean, just look at the FBI, right? Instead of going after political rivals, which is what Biden had them doing, the FBI is actually doing its mission now: protect the American people and uphold the Constitution of the United States. In that spirit, the agency launched a task force to try and nail the criminals that are setting fire to Tesla vehicles and charging stations. Rob Chadwick, a former FBI supervisory special agent and director of education and training at the U.S. Concealed Carry Association, described him as an ideologically driven attack meant to intimidate, and that puts them square in the FBI's crosshairs. He promised that those who are breaking the law or using violence to intimidate others will feel the full weight of the justice system. I mean, he should include the people provoking these lunatics too, right? I mean, just recently, Democratic Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota called for his party to form some kind of a shadow government, his exact words, mind you. He also talked about doing an alternate press conference, telling the truth about what things are actually happening. I mean, sure, because he and Kamala Harris did so many press conferences and interviews when they were campaigning, right? Seriously, guys, they are just ridiculous. The FBI should investigate each and every single one of them. And our job, make sure people know about this and people's real stories about President Trump. So let's go ahead and dive right in. First off is this one from Pawn Stars personality Rick Harrison. Check this out.
When he called me up and apologized to me.
For what?
So this is kind of crazy. So this is in 2018. He's having a rally here in town for a guy running for Congress, someone running for Congress and Senate, and they wanted me to announce him at the rally. So I show up with my son Jake and my daughter Serena. White House staff, "Hey Rick, how's it going? Like, come on this way." And we go to backstage, and like Secret Service goes, "He's not on the list." And they're going like, "But it's Rick Harrison." His friend's like, "Not on the list. Doesn't matter." And I'm literally trying to call like a U.S. senator and some other people, you know, some congressmen. I can't get a hold of anybody. Secret Service throws me into the public and I am getting mobbed. And we had to leave. We could not stay there. So, and I'm pissed. I mean, we're on the freeway on the way home, and you know, Senator Heller calls me up. He goes, "Rick, so sorry. Just come on back down to the convention center. It was a screw up. It'll be fine when you get there." We're like, "Dude, all the roads are closed. I can't get back down there. The president's in town. They closed the roads, you know." And like, you know, in a few little, because I have no filter because I worked in a pawn shop my whole life. So we ended up driving home. I dropped Jake off. I'm so pissed off. I'm going to the bar. All right, because I'm really, really mad.
And it's kind of embarrassing too when you're in it, right?
Well, the thing that upset me was like my son. He's 16 years old. He told all of his buddies he's going to be the president. Da, 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 da. So I get like a block from the house, and then like Senator Heller's number pops up on my truck, and like Senator Heller knows I have no filter. So the first words out of his mouth is like, Rick, before you say a word, the President of the United States would like to talk to you. And the first words out of Trump's mouth were, Rick, I am really sorry. This is all my fault. Because my White House staff, they work for me. They screwed up. That makes it my fault. I'm sorry. You know, they should have informed the Secret Service. So I'm sorry. Will you please come back down to the convention center? We'll try and make this happen. And you're not going to tell the President of the United States no. All right. So I'm just like, yes, sir. I will do whatever I can to get there. I mean, the roads are closed, though. So I turn around, go back to the house, grab my son, Jake. He says, the President wants us to go to the convention center. Where do we get there? So, but it was funny. So we're driving down there, and then I got a weird phone number pop up on my truck there. And I got like, some guy goes like, this is such and such with the Secret Service in D.C. I have the Secret Service guy at Vegas on location. We have the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police under sheriff, and all these people are on the phone. The big guy says, get you to the convention center. Where are you at? What are you driving? And I'm saying, when I'm driving a gray Raptor, I'm going down Desert Ed right now. He goes like, where are you at? I'm going like, I'm right at Durango. When you get to Decatur, whether the lights red or green, stop, flash your headlights. So we literally, the light is green. We got people honking at me. I stop, and all of a sudden, like 8 cop cars that come out of nowhere. I get a phone call, follow us. And I got my son there going like, Dad, who do you know? I'm like, I guess I'm kind of important.
Really, let me say this again. President Trump is as much of a regular guy as any billionaire could be. I mean, I think that's why he's loved. He's approachable, well, as much as the Secret Service will allow, of course. But yeah, chalk this up to another reason why the American people love our president. You know what I mean? This guy was upset about disappointing his son, and what did Trump do? He called him up personally and told him that he was sorry and took the blame for his staff. Before this, Harrison praised President Trump after they met following the loss of Harrison's son, Adam, who died of fentanyl overdose in 2024. He said the president is an incredible individual and he wants to do something about this. So Harrison said to start arresting the people selling it, arresting the people bringing it over the border, close down the border, make it really expensive. That way, we can make a fentanyl death rare. Then he blasted the officials who refused to talk about it. He said at the time when Biden was president that the border policy was absolutely ridiculous, that it's the equivalent of a 737 plane loaded with passengers crashing every single day. But the news doesn't want to talk about it because it's a big part of its politics. He said it's all coming right across the border, and the Biden administration and the Democratic majority at the time won't do anything about it. So you can just imagine how thankful Harrison is now that President Trump is back. And one of President Trump's first actions is shutting down the border and the flow of fentanyl into the country. Drop a quick yes in the comments, guys. Hit the like button to show your support. Also, subscribe to the channel. That way you can stay updated on everything Trump and breaking news. All right, so let's get back to this one, guys. I teased it at the beginning, so here you are. Representative Tim Burchett ending this little troll's career with an epic clapback. Watch this.
Harry, do you trust Trump's national security team to keep our war plans top secret?
Do you trust your mother every night to fix your Hot Pockets and make sure your Game Boy is turned on?
That's what you would call in video games a fatality. Finish him. Man straight up ethered that dude and walked off like a boss. He didn't even answer the question. He exposed the clown show right behind it. Now we need more reps who don't take the bait and aren't afraid to call out the nonsense. Respect. Basically because, apparently, according to Burchett, the young man has been tracking him for about a year, and he believes that he's being paid for by the left. He said it could be George Soros, could be the Democratic Party. He asked his Democratic friends, they don't think very much of him either. So yeah, it was definitely satisfying to see him shut this troll down, and I'm not alone thinking that. The video was viewed 5 million times, and it received more than 5,700 comments, including one from Congressman Wesley Hunt, who replied, "Savage, brother." Vice President J.D. Vance even shared the clip saying that Tim is a great American. Even before this, the stalker asked Burchett the same question, whether he trusted the Trump administration to keep U.S. war plans under wraps. He simply replied, "I do, but I do not trust your wardrobe advisor." Seriously, Burchett is on fire. And so is the Trump administration taking action against these recent Tesla attacks and Democrats trying to incite violence. Attorney General Pam Bondi, for one, has already called out Representative Jasmine Crockett and warned her about her inflammatory rhetoric. Here, watch.
Now, these comments did prompt a strong warning from the Attorney General Pam Bondi and literally said, tread carefully. Has Jasmine Crockett learned anything? Well, you wouldn't know it based on what she said about Texas Senator Ted Cruz over the weekend. Take a look.
But, like, it's Ted Cruz. I mean, like, this dude has to be knocked over the head, like, hard, right? Like, there is no niceties with him, like, at all. Like, you go clean off on him, right?
All right, the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, is with us now. Okay, so if you talk about taking somebody out or taking them down or knocking somebody over the head and knocking them over the head hard, are those threats of violence?
Yeah, Sean, it is. And you know, after she said that about Elon, she said, well, I didn't mean violence. But, however, your words have consequences. And what happened after she said that about Elon Musk, she's a Texan in her own home state. After she said that, this morning, 3 explosive devices were found in Austin, Texas. So she needs to unequivocally denounce the violence. She must apologize immediately, not only to all Texans, but to our country, to the American shareholders of Tesla, because she is promoting violence. And then you showed the clip of what she said about Senator Cruz. I believe she probably will be censured by Congress for saying that. You know, people don't learn. She's using her public persona, her public platform to increase her followers, to increase her significance, and she is threatening lives, safety. You know, when she did this at Tesla, Sean, people's lives are in danger. This is America. We're in a free country, and she's yet encouraging this violence in our country. Think of all the lives that could have been jeopardized in Texas just today by her words and what she's done. But she didn't stop with that. She continued on with Senator Cruz. She has to apologize immediately and denounce the violence.
The FBI is on it too. The agency has just started a task force to nail the criminals setting fires to Tesla vehicles and charging stations. The Bureau has received reports of 48 instances so far this month related to Tesla vehicles, dealerships, and charging stations, and is investigating at least 7 of them in conjunction with local law enforcement. I mean, we're talking the whole shebang here, guys. The agency's newly formed 10-person task force will deploy ATF personnel, special agents, intelligence analysts, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives in the Treasury Department, and personnel from FBI's Counterterrorism Division, including its Domestic Terrorism Operations Section and Weapons of Mass Destruction. ATF is also embedding personnel in FBI field offices, starting with San Antonio, Texas, where some of the Mazel Tov cocktails have been carried out. So, yeah. The FBI is already treating the attacks as domestic terrorism and tracking people who threaten to carry out vandalism on electric vehicle companies as a part of a revenge plot on Elon Musk's government intervention as a head of Doge. So pretty soon, they're going to be going after the people instigating these attacks. I mean, just listen to former Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz. The guy actually said he wants to form some kind of a shadow government. Watch.
One of the first things they do is try and restrict the vote. This is one of the things, though, that this is going to take power to the streets. I don't know what the answer is on this, but I've been saying this. I think we need a shadow government, so when all these things come up every single day, we've got an alternate press conference telling the truth about what things are happening.
Well, there you go, guys. Straight from the man himself. He wants to form some kind of a shadow government that would do alternate press conferences telling their own version of the truth about what things are happening. You see, Tim Walz, he has a problem with Trump's recent order, which requires the federal government's Election Assistance Commission to update its voter registration form to require proof of citizenship. He said Trump is seeking to suppress votes, so he automatically jumps to the idea of a shadow government. That is something that they say in the UK. Basically, it's a practice where each senior member of the primary opposition party shadows a corresponding role held by government officials and offers alternative policy recommendations. Really, they're just doing everything that they can to try and hinder the process and the progress that our president and his team are making. I mean, like, why else would they suggest this, right? In fact, why would they be against asking for proof of citizenship to vote? Do they plan to let illegal immigrants vote to pad their numbers? Has it really come to that? And Walt is talking about suppressing votes when actually, during the 2024 campaign, the Republican National National Committee invested in an operation to ensure election integrity, recruiting over 230,000 poll watchers and 6,500 attorneys to watch for signs of suspicious activity while filing over 100 lawsuits. In one incident, poll watchers discovered 30,000 ballots that had been run through a tabulator without proper security protocols. They call it voter suppression when really it's election integrity. And really proposing something as radical as a shadow government, man, these people are desperate. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Should the FBI go after these instigators of violence next? Drop a quick yes or no in the comments, guys. Let's get a conversation going about this. And if you want more in-depth discussions like this one, be sure to check out our recommended videos right after this. As always, thanks for hitting the like button. Thank you so much for subscribing. We'll see you guys next time.